Hey guys, welcome back. Today I took a tiny little break from my April Traveler's Notebook Stash Kit so that I could work with the Travelogue kit from Citrus Twist. I've just come back from a tiny little mini breakaway. It's been my first one in I don't know how many years. Catch up with my family, and so I had to put it into my notebook immediately. Not to mention that I knew that I really wanted to use this kind of citrusy paper. I love it. It's just the colors, and you know me, I'm not an orange girl at all, but I love those citrus. I mean, there's a little bit of pink in there. Maybe that's what draws me to it. So I've printed a couple of photos of me and my sister sitting in my dad's backyard having a lovely glass of rosé. I knew that I was going to work with this paper though, and it is very bright, so I did keep my photos black and white just to keep the colors on the page a little bit more, I guess, subtle and not too overwhelming with all of this pattern and color that's going on. Now, one of my favorite parts about this kit is that the papers are 8¼ inches tall. And so all I need to do is trim that down. I've just trimmed it slightly short of the margin, so it's like 4 1/8 maybe, just so that it's not getting too close to the middle of that book. And then I've pulled out a few of the kind of 3x4 cards, and I really liked this one here that says travel ticket, but I really wanted to turn it into a ticket. So I just trimmed it a little bit narrower so that I could get that more kind of tickety shape. And then I grabbed a circle punch and just really lightly folding the ends so I can find the middle, and then just taking kind of a semicircle out of the top and bottom to create this actual little travel ticket. Now, I don't have any kind of pinking shears or anything like that for the top, so I'm just using that Tim Holtz distressing tool just to kind of rough up those little top and bottom edges. It looks like it's been pulled off a ticket roll. I really like it. It's cute. I am going to add a little bit more texture to it in just a second, but I kind of want to work out where the rest of these layers are going to go. And what I'm going to do is use my smaller photo of myself here, and I'm going to use the 3x4 card that has that same pattern on it. So that way I pull a little bit of that color over to the right hand side of the page without it being too overwhelming. So I did trim it down so that it fits around the edge of my photo, but I still get to keep that little sentiment. Now, you can hardly see it on here. I did take that ticket over to my sewing machine and stitched around the outside edge of it. So like I said, I just wanted to give it a little bit more of a texture. And I'm also going to layer both of these pieces up on this little minty green card. And that was really just to add in an extra color. I know that I'm going to add some alphas onto the left-hand side, and the alphas from the kit are that same kind of mint color. So I did want to tie both of those pages in together with just a little bit of color. So I've adhered the ticket piece down onto that 3x4 card, and I'm just trimming it again to make it a little bit more just the proportions a little bit similar to the ticket rather than just a 3x4 card. I'm trying to make this look like sort of layered paper rather than just a bunch of 3x4 cards stuck together. And what I'm doing here is creating a little flap. So I used one of the other journaling cards, so one that's a little bit lighter because I'm going to type my journaling onto it here in a second. And I just folded that over the top of my photo so that it's the same kind of height. Then I'm going to add some double-sided tape onto that flap. I don't need the actual flap to be that large. I'm going to knock them both together and adhere them together. And that will give me a little space for the hidden journaling, so I can still add my little story in here, but it's not like competing with my cluster. So I've got this flap already. Now I can go ahead and kind of stick all of this down. I didn't want to stick those bottom layers down until I had completed the little hidden journaling piece, so I knew how much room that was going to take up. I'm adhering everything down with a fairly significant amount of double-sided tape to make sure it all sticks down there nicely. Usually I'm a tape runner girl, and that does stick well enough. These papers, because I'm using 3x4 cards, they're a little bit thicker. I want a little bit of a stronger adhesive, but also I have to say I am running low on my tape runners, so I'm trying to be a little bit thrifty with it and use some other kind of adhesive methods if I can. Now, my journaling I didn't know how far down to go, so I've left a few little gaps at the bottom. I'm going to fill that up with a couple of stickers. Again, using the Travelogue kit, all of those kind of teals work really nicely together, so I'm just adding them underneath. And then I'm going to put my larger photo over on the left-hand side. I really want to use some of these puffy stickers. I'm obsessed with this little Polaroid camera one. I just haven't found the right layout to put it on yet. This one isn't it either, so I'm going to put it back. But I do love these little like scripty font words, so I'm going to use a couple of those. This is the last page in this notebook. This isn't actually my April notebook. This is just another kind of spare notebook that I had lying around. It's the last page in there, so I don't mind adding too many sort of layered puffy stickers. I wouldn't normally do that because it is quite bulky. I've got a chipboard and a puffy layered underneath the flap of that photo, so it does stick out a little bit, but because it's the last page in this book, I'm totally okay with doing that. So I'm just using my ruler guide to kind of lay out my word, and I wasn't sure where I was going to put it, but by the time I had spelled out cheers, it was actually like the perfect width to go on top of my photo. So I'm just going to pop that on there, but then I'm going to do the same thing that I did under that little flap, and I'm going to layer one of these puffy sticker words on here. This one with the black and white sort of stands out really nicely on that colored background. And I was kind of thinking, this page is almost done. It just feels like it needs something to kind of link the two pages. And I was wondering about a few more little puffy stickers, but in the end, I decided to go and grab some Heidi Swapp Color Shine. I literally only have one, but it's the perfect kind of peachy color for this page. You know, I'm not a massive fan of splatters, so I'm being as careful as I can to kind of protect the pages that I've already done, and sprinkling a few little splatters, or I really should have gone with a pen. I just prefer the control. I guess it's a control issue. I wanted to add just a few onto this left-hand side and then a few more onto the right, just so they're kind of spilling across both pages. I did get a little bit on my photo, but hey, what are you going to do? That's it. That's my very simple page all done. I love how it turned out. I love the brightness of it. And I love that I finally got a page with me and my sister. It doesn't happen very often, and certainly hasn't over the last couple of years. Hey, thanks for watching today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, I'm going to leave a couple of videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you again really soon. Bye.